Okay, so it's 7 o'clock, let's get going. So welcome, thank you for coming, ladies and gentlemen. Just going through the thing, apologies for absence.
I've had apologies from Councillor Sparks and Councillor Fuller.
Okay. Right, may I accept those apologies? Yeah. Yeah, okay. That's fine. Declarations of interest. I always want to go first. I declare I'm a resident of St Christopher's Drive, also a resident of Angle.
I'm a resident of St Peter's Road.
The extent to which it's relevant. I'm a parish councillor at Clapton.
I'm just shutting down.
Yep, okay.
There's a wait for hour.
Right, public participation. We have a few of the public. If you want to say anything, now do so, or for Heather.
Well, you've already told me. It's nothing to do with this. It's really about the planning permissions, and I've come just to get a feel as I'm in Spears Road.
Yeah, okay. So just for a sanity check, David, we were asking whether the two planning applications that went through E&C would be on your agenda later on, or if it's nothing, it's just a
You having
report.
rushed out and grabbed the wrong set of papers.
Yeah, well, I'm told by one of your colleagues.
I therefore don't have an agenda for that meeting.
Right.
In
Oh,
fact, so I can't remember what I
Would
am
you
doing.
like to
No, they're not on.
They're not on. So they're not on the later meeting.
Yeah.
But it would have been for information only if they happened.
Yes.
Can I just add, if you really want to go and find out about St Peter's Road, you must go on the 17th of December to the E&C,
All right.
because they're being rerun again, Cotstock Road and Cotstock Road is St Peter's, and St Christopher's Drive.
Thank you for that.
Right. Okay then, so consideration of requests from interested parties, well, we had that one. Neighbourhood plan then. Receive an update regarding the neighbourhood plan interim report from the examiner. Peter, do you want to cover it, or shall I?
Basically, we can't really say anything about it.
No.
So I think
On
really
the
we should
positive.
leave it at that.
Yeah. No, on the positive, the report came out on the date that he said it was, and he very politely asked us to go through it and check that it is factually correct, and that we can understand his logic through it. So before he goes out public, he's doing all the sensible things with us. So there's a few of us will be involved in that, in that checking process. But this isn't the opportunity to criticise or comment on it. It is purely, has he got this fact or that fact? Has he got this reference number, cross-reference, policy number and all the rest of it right? There's a fair amount to do. He's asked us to respond by Friday this week. I've asked for an extension to that, partially, mostly because of personal reasons. I'm just not around much until Friday, and he's accepted that. So he's accepted midday on Thursday next week. We need to get that our comments back into him. I don't think beyond that
That's
there's
it.
much else
There's nothing else
to
to
say.
say.
So when he gets our input back, you're very welcome. Yes.
Sorry, it's a work day today, sorry.
Well, I don't know those things. Yeah, so as I say, he's been very helpful with us, giving us that extension from Friday till Thursday next week. So yeah, and there's a fair amount for us to get through in terms of the technicalities on each line.
Some may say.
Right, unless there's any other discussion, I can't really tell you anything, but if there's any other queries that burn people on that one, then he'll get it back Thursday. So I would imagine it would be something up to a week after Thursday next week that he will come back to us. So we're going back to him on the 12th. I would expect to hear back from him somewhere around the 19th. You might be quicker. Yeah.
I was after the Cotstock Road and St Peter's Road.
Yeah, well, hopefully. I mean, if it's quick, we might get it on by the 17th, which would help. But yeah.
Do we know that they're considering them on the 17th?
Yes, they are. Yeah, it's Jake has already sort of mentioned it. We're getting an agenda soon.
Yeah. So
But it's part and parcel of the local plan, so it will be considered again on the 17th.
yeah. Sorry, just for clarity on that, Peter. The 17th is a planning policies.
Policy.
Plans
Yeah, it's not
Policies
managed.
Committee, which is part of the Oundle Neighbourhood Plan and the local plan.
Yeah.
And it includes obviously the Cotterstock Road and
But they're not considering the planning application
No.
for that.
no,
So
they're
that's
not considering the planning application.
So what
This
they're
is
doing on the
to move forward
17th
with that.
is they're looking at the local plan. And if you remember, the local plan was put on hold until the outcome of the examiner's report from the neighbourhood plan. So that might technically be, you know, within a day of the meeting, you know, in which case they can talk about it, but they clearly can't get it on the agenda of the meeting because that has to be out 10 days before. So we will know the agenda of the meeting and it will be made public in the normal fashion 10 days before the meeting itself. So the meeting is the 17th, so we expect the 10th, which is around...
The 7th.
Very good, Peter.
No, it's the 7th when it comes out, 10 days before the 17th. Not...
Never
mind.
right then.
Say
Yeah,
them.
all right. Quite right on your maths.
Yeah, you're not very good at maths, are you?
No.
No.
David.
Councillor Voles did actually speak to me last night, wearing, I think, two hats, probably as chair of Oundle Planning Committee, but also as a parish councillor in Glackthorne, because apparently Cotterstock wish to join with Glackthorne, if Glackthorne are interested in them joining with them, in order to try to oppose the application for the Cotterstock Road, St Peter's Road site. And he's also indicated to me that Cotterstock are entirely behind the Oundle Neighbourhood Plan as opposed to the local plan. So I said that I would mention that this evening in the context of the two meetings I've got. I will also be raising this at Blackthorn meeting next week, which I think it is possible members from Cotterstock may attend in order to try and take that a bit further. Whether there will be any practical benefit that ultimately comes from that, I don't know, but it's nice to know that the villages are with us on this.
What's the date, David?
In terms of the meeting between, well, I say between, the next Glackthorne meeting is on the 11th, and that will be attended by, as I say, I believe, at least one or more representatives from Cotterstock, possibly by Councillor Voles himself, I don't know. And I will certainly raise with Glackthorne whether they want to join up with Cotterstock in trying to oppose that planning application.
Would it be an idea if one or two of Oundle councillors came, apart from yourself?
There's absolutely no reason why people from Oundle can't attend the meeting. It's an open meeting, therefore anybody is welcome to attend. As with our meetings, they have an initial slot during which people may speak if they wish to for a limited period of time. So yes, if anybody wants to attend. Might be as well, if that is going to happen, if I can tip off the chair in advance.
What time does it start?
7:30 in the village hall.
All right, I can make it on the 11th.
I think it would be good if we have somebody there just to say that we support their initiative.
Yeah, definitely. If that's going to happen, then I think we should have at least one person there.
Yeah. Thanks, Peter.
Right, good.
Okay. And I know where the village hall is.
Well, if not, go to the house next to it, and I'll tell you
I know where that is as well.
where to go.
Politely. Right, so just the update referenced the complaint that we sent in, and I think you've all had a copy of that complaint. Just to go through, you know, there were several issues of our complaint. First one was, you know, when they withdrew their support for the neighbourhood plan, they acted improperly. They acted against the public interest when they refused to work with Oundle on a single SA document. They worked improperly when they encouraged the developers to submit planning applications ahead of the two emerging plans, both their own and ours. They failed to prevent the publication of the draft local plan that was incorrect, and then they say it failed again to prevent the second publication of the draft plan that was incorrect. They were working improperly when they recorded minutes of that meeting on the 29th of July, you know, were contrary to what the meeting had agreed. And that the officer of the council informed the examiner, you know, of the wrong conclusion of that meeting. And then in engaging in the pre-planning applications, when they've been told by the council meeting not to engage, you know, was against the spirit of the instructions that they were given. The council, we did get a response back from that, and it was essentially that we needed to go through the formal process, which we've said, right, we're going to do, and we've just resubmitted the same letter, you know, with the, you know, this is stage 1 now of your formal process. You know, so we're now waiting for the response from that. So Emma has had confirmation that they have received that formal request from us. We asked in that letter that they suspend all strategic planning considerations for Oundle, and we haven't had a response from that request. But, you can imagine that there will be quite a lot of resistance to them doing that. So that's where we are at the moment. We have the opportunity to talk again at the planning policy meeting on the 17th. So irrespective of what the agenda is, you know, we want to keep going with, you know, what our approach is. But if I go through personally where I think that we have in terms of time priorities, the most pressing thing for us at the moment is getting a deferral at least on the 2 planning applications for Cofferstock Road and St Christopher's Drive, because if those go through, then it's almost impossible to stop them by any means later on. The second one is to get the local plan to be reconsidered, you know, with the correct marking of the site allocations, and the principal error in it at the moment is the one for Philip Rose's site, where, you know, they said that the site had been deselected because Philip did not respond to the agent's request for information, you know, when ENC knew fully well of his intention to build on that site and all the commitments. And then the third one in the line is the neighbourhood plan. You know, so in terms of our priorities, you know, whatever happens with the neighbourhood plan, local plan, and those 2 others, you know, sit above it. So we have 10-15 minutes if you want to discuss further. Alternatively, we'll run in the hub and we'll serve coffee. Okay, please.
I think it's very clear and very well structured what we've done. So,
Okay.
thank you.
Right.
Sorry.
I'd like to second that.
What? Sorry, you're late.
A bit unfair. No, look, I cannot say how much I admire what you've put into this. It is quite clear to me that you've gone forensically through this, and I just don't know what ENC and others are going to say about it, frankly.
Don't think of something, don't worry.
Sorry,
They'll think of something.
It's very
well, if they do, it'll be absolutely magic out of the air.
Yeah. It's very important that we stay with facts, you know, that we don't allow emotion, you know, that you know, I'm an extremely emotive person, and, you know, David rewords my things extremely nicely. But, you know, just on that, you know, there's no one person's done anything here. It's you know, there's been a great team thing going on.
Yeah, but you've done a hell of a lot.
Right. With that.
I don't think there's anything else we can add.
No. Okay. Right.